A new wave of widespread shortages is ravaging the United States due to a catastrophic global supply chain breakdown, which has disrupted the manufacture and transportation of many products and threatens to send prices to unprecedented highs. Chip shortages are halting the production of phones, home appliances, video games, and even forcing entire auto plants to shut down, leading to billions in losses for numerous companies. Moreover, a shortage of building materials is not only crippling the construction of new homes, but also adding thousands of dollars to the cost of new housing units. And even though the Suez Canal has finally been cleared, the recent blockage triggered shortages of a wide range of essentials, and those are likely to persist for months. From oil to natural gas, coffee to canned goods, shelf-stable food to frozen vegetables and other staples, aluminum, furniture, and even toilet paper, there's a dramatic lack of supply. But consumers are still frantically seeking such items. For that reason, experts are worried that soon we might witness another panic buying frenzy as Americans run to the stores to stock up on goods they saw being wiped out from their grocery shelves during previous rounds of supply shocks, while stores remain woefully unprepared to deal with the growing demand. And that's what we're going to investigate today, so stay with us. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and share this video, and please subscribe to our channel to keep updated with our latest notifications. A global shortage of semiconductors is provoking a lag in the production of televisions, mobile phones, game consoles, and even cars. Consumers are facing sharp price rises and shortages of multiple electronics, and industry specialists are warning that the enormous surge in demand, driven by changing habits and government stimulus money, is making this situation reach a crisis point. According to Neil Campling, media and tech analyst at Mirrorboard, the chip shortage, considered the brain within every existing electronic device, has been significantly aggravated since last year. And knowing chips are everything, there is a perfect storm of supply and demand factors going on here. But basically, there's a new level of demand that can't be kept up with. Everyone is in a crisis, and it's getting worse, he said. More alarmingly, the auto industry, which is still struggling to bounce back from last year's government-mandated shutdowns, has also been dealing with part shortages that go from seating foam to plastics and now being forced to cut production. Some automakers are closing entire plants due to the shortage of electronic chips. The biggest problem is that such chips are used to control everything from powertrains to digital safety systems. Modern cars typically use 100 or more microprocessors, which makes the industry particularly vulnerable to supply disruptions. That has impacted the industry's largest manufacturers, including General Motors, Honda, Nissan, Volkswagen, Ford, Toyota, and Stellantis. We continue to manage a number of supply chain issues related to the impact from the health crisis, congestion at various ports, the microchip shortage, and severe winter weather. Honda outlined in a statement, adding that all their auto plants in the US and Canada will be impacted, with most of the plants temporarily suspending production. Similarly, Ford canceled shifts at 2 car plants and revealed that profits could decline by up to $2.5 billion. Nissan is also slowing production, and the U.S. General Motors said it could face a $2 billion loss due to the shortage. Volvo disclosed plans to implement stop days of 2 to 4 weeks and said that the disturbances are expected to have a negative impact on earnings and cash flow. Experts say the disruption will likely extend for several months, despite predictions of a heated demand over the summer. This crisis is rooted in the early weeks of the health crisis last spring, when automakers were forced to halt their operations, anticipating a drop in demand. Chip makers then turned capacities in the direction of computers and console makers as booming demand for electronics from TVs to smartphones, webcams, and video games during the various lockdowns has picked up. However, when the auto industry faced a sudden bounce back in most major markets, suppliers were simply unable to shift away from contracts with electronics companies, which had experienced rapid growth over the past few months. Crippling explained that given that there's no sign of supply catching up or demand decreasing while prices are rising across the chain, this will cross over to people in the street, stressing that we should expect cars to cost more, phones to cost more, and even iPhone is not going to be cheaper than last year. Furthermore, if you were planning to build or repair a house, you probably won't find the materials you need in the stores anymore, especially lumber, considering that many producing plants and manufacturers simply aren't up to full capacity, and a lot of material isn't making to store supplies anymore, but being immediately directed to construction companies whose projects have been recently stalled in the face of widespread shortages of building materials. Martin Kimbrell, who handles outside sales at OS Lumber, says that lumber shortages have driven prices up by 70% and added roughly $25,000 to the cost of a new housing unit. He highlighted that a national trickle-down effect, along with an abundance of construction projects on the drawing board, are causing headaches with this industry, underscoring that the shortages at plants and mills are expected to worsen, as anything that runs through a process takes longer to arrive in the market. Windows, doors, fiber cement sidings, shingles, you name it, are nowhere to be found, he added. It's a major issue. Additionally, flat steel form ties, a small piece of metal that ties together aluminum panels that make the walls, allowing builders to pour concrete in between, is experiencing a drastic decline in supply due to a number of determinants, including just-in-time inventory, tariffs on imports, and of course, the recent supply chain breakdown. This could morph into a catastrophic crisis, exclaimed Tom Woods, a 55-year industry veteran, founder of Woods Custom Homes, a Missouri-based home builder. He says, if you don't pour any basements or walls, then you're not gonna build any houses. Contractors are reporting wall tie rations of 1 pallet per week, which can build up to 10 average-sized homes. Such supplies could drop to zero over the next few weeks, and that's a matter of concern as the weather is warming up and builders should soon start to pour foundations as the ground thaws from the winter freeze. On top of that, shortages of cabinets, appliances, and vinyl to extrude windows are also being registered as copper prices skyrocketed 80% this year. The blockage of the Suez Canal will also add to the list of problems builders have been experiencing in 2021. According to Woods, the adhesives, the basic parts, come from overseas, even for parts manufactured in the U.S. That can definitely cause a slowdown with the supply. Although the immense cargo ship has finally been refloated, the disruptions caused are forecasted to exacerbate months-long problems in the global supply chain, also triggering shortages of products such as toilet paper, coffee, furniture all over the country. Considering that there are no alternate routes for shipping goods from Asia to Europe, consequently imports to the United States coming from Europe will be delayed, since the blockage will prevent empty shipping containers from being returned to Asia, further exacerbating a worldwide container shortage provoked by the effects of the health crisis and higher consumer demand. U.S. imports coming from Asia usually cross the Pacific Ocean to California, but delays of parts sent from Asia to Europe could postpone the delivery of finished products from Europe to the U.S. And congestion at Southern California ports, where several containers from Asia arrive, has already been an issue for months. According to Lloyd's List, the shipping journal, as oil shipments are considerably behind schedule, American consumers should brace for radical price increases in the pumps. Nearly 1.9 million barrels of oil a day go through the canal, which is about 7% of all seaborne oil. Therefore, the accident caused shipments of oil and natural gas from the Middle East to Europe to spark higher prices of nudge crude and gasoline. Americans were already struggling with surging gas prices due to the shutdown of Texas refineries during the winter storm. Summer prices are expected to continue hiking due to this striking turn of events. Now, in a recent article, Business Insider reported that a logjam worsened by congestion at California ports has pushed back deliveries of furniture by months, and the Suez snarl-up intensified the backups. Furniture sales had been booming amid the work-from-home trend, but now companies are saying customers will have to wait a minimum of 90 days to receive their orders. One American furniture manufacturer, La-Z-Boy, recently disclosed on an earnings call that clients will have to wait for their new sofas and chairs anywhere from 5 to 9 months after placing their orders. What is more, if you're a coffee lover, you may not find your beloved drink in the stores for a while, as a coffee shortage is rippling all around the globe. Bloomberg recently noted that most producers of Robusta coffee, used in instant coffee, shipped the product through the canal. The Suez is a major shipping route from Vietnam, the world's largest producer of that coffee strain. Thus, a scarcity of beans will soon be felt at coffee shops and in supermarkets. By the way, do you remember how last year's panic buying frenzy caused a disastrous shortage of toilet paper, cleaning products, food staples, a wide range of essentials? Well, prepare yourself, because another wave of shortages is coming up, and it might get incredibly hard to find toilet paper again. Experts are warning and are very worried that all of the mentioned international shipping issues could bring a return of hoarding, especially amongst items that have already been scarce throughout the past year. Suzano, a Brazilian company that produces nearly 1/3 of global supplies of hardwood pulp, a material used to make toilet paper, told Bloomberg the container crunch already poses the risk of supply disruptions. Suzano's CEO Walter Schalke told in an interview that his company shipped less product in March than predicted, and revealed concerns that a global shortage might be looming. With fresh memories of empty shelves and inflated prices, the idea of another round of toilet paper shortages may be unsettling for many Americans. A recent analysis published by Yahoo pointed out a number of products whose supply has been declining may also experience shortages in the months ahead. Cheese and dairy products, particularly from imported brands, are nowhere to be found at Costco, who blamed the shortage on the shipping container shortfall. The retailer noted that there are major issues at ports along the West Coast, from Seattle down through California. Likewise, selected snacks and fizzy drinks may disappear from the shelves as manufacturers are being forced to reprioritize their products. According to Ram Hold of DealNews.com, this means companies will put lesser-known or more specialty flavors on the back burner, focusing on the most popular products instead. An aluminum shortage has been dragging since last year, and manufacturers have been unable to keep up with demand, particularly on items like soups and select sodas. Even beer is suffering from the aluminum shortage, which means it might be a toss-up on whether you can find your favorite brand at your local store this year, he said, highlighting that shortages of shelf-stable items such as canned food dried pasta, beans, as well as food staples such as eggs, bread and milk, and a variety of frozen vegetables are very likely to occur again this year, since manufacturers are still trying to catch up from the massive and unexpected demand in 2020, and stores' stockpiles have been running dangerously low. When we think things can't get any more chaotic, all odds conspire to an even greater chaos. So get ready for another catastrophic wave of shortages, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay current to the next developments of this calamitous crisis here on Epic Economist. We hope you have found this video informative. Thank you for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. See you guys on the next one.